Good morning, everyone. My name is Maria Juarez. Welcome to our SHAC meeting. On behalf of Teresa Rayner and Dr. Epps, we welcome you to our first meeting of the year. I want to make you aware that this meeting is being recorded, so there's that. I'm going to I'm going to call Ms. Hurtado, who graces us with her presence today, so that we can do our prayer and then we can move on. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ms. President, and also Ms. Rayner. And let's go to the Lord in prayer. Lord, we give thanks for this beautiful day and for the opportunity that we have to serve on this council. We ask that you continue to provide Dr. Epps and Ms. Rayner with the guidance and wisdom needed as they continue to provide our students and community with the best possible health care. Lord, we lift up our presenter and ask that we find ways to share the valuable information we receive. And we ask, Lord, that you bless the meal that has been provided for the nourishment of our body. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Thank you so much. Next, I'm going to call Ms. Rayner, Teresa, so that, oh no, the breakfast, that's right. We're going to go ahead and break for breakfast. How about that? And it's however you want to go, just please get in line, and these wonderful ladies right here will serve you.
All right. Hope everyone has their plate and ready to begin. So it looks like a delicious breakfast this morning, and thank our ladies this morning for serving us and helping us out. Our guest speaker today is Ms. Kirby Rogers. She works in our district. This is her 5th year to work in Galena Park I.S.D. And before that, she worked in clinical settings as a mental health licensed professional counselor. So if we welcome Ms. Rogers and let her tell you all about mental health. Right here. Or do you like to walk? I like to walk. Would you want the microphone? I don't think so.
Can everyone hear me? Yes. I think I'm pretty loud. Good morning.
Oh, no, we have to have a microphone for them to speak.
The recorder. Yes. Thank you. All right. Good morning, everyone. Again, my name is Kirby Rogers Mitchell. I'm a licensed professional counselor supervisor. I'm super passionate about mental health, so I'm going to be talking to you all today about therapy 101. You matter. I strongly believe that if you all are taking care of yourselves, you'll be able to do the best in taking care of others in your life, love, students, etc. I do want this to be interactive, so feel free to ask questions, feel free to say comments, anything like that. Thank you. Oh, I can hear the difference. All right, so we're going to start with the check-in, and this one may be a little difficult because you're chewing, all right? But let's start by centering ourselves for just a moment. And when you're ready, I'd like you to start by taking a deep breath. Just in through your nose, out through your mouth. One more deep breath in. Release. Thank you. I'd like you to identify one thing that you want to take away from today. This could be the presentation. This could be later on in your day. Just something that you want to take away from today. Now, once you've identified that thing, I want you to identify how that will benefit you in your life. If I take this one thing away, what will it do for me? And I want you to visualize it. See yourself in that space. See the benefit that it'll have on your lives, on your family's lives, your students' lives. Make it as clear as you can, like you're watching yourself on a TV screen. Now, once you visualize that benefit, see yourself in that space, what would that make you believe about yourself? Would you be more capable? Would you see yourself as enough, worthy, strong? Having more capacity? What would that be? Who would like to share that belief? What would your takeaway do for your life? Don't be shy. I'm real good at voluntolding people. Dr. Epps, you want to share? out of your day, out of this presentation? Any?
Some stress. There are some things that are very stressful, and I wish that I could take those things away from my life. It would make me happier. It would probably save me some money. It would just do me so much good, probably all overall.
Mm-hmm. And what's one word that you can see yourself as once that stress is removed? Happy. Okay. Thank you for sharing. Happier. Thank you. All right. So today we're going to identify some personal barriers that you all may have. We're going to talk a little bit about what therapy is, when to seek therapy, how do you find a therapist if you're interested in that or if someone you know needs it. We'll talk a little bit about self-care, creating some balance, and then just a couple benefits that GPISD has. So, what is your definition of mental health? Who can share? Your definition. Go for it.
Mental health is feeling your best and
Feeling your best so you can be your best. Absolutely. I saw another hand. Yes.
I was just saying balance.
Balance. Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you so much for sharing. How would you all describe your mental health right now? Happy because we're eating? Okay, I like it. We need fuel. So, thank you for being honest. So, absolutely.
Stress out.
Say that again.
It's stress out.
Stress? Okay, thank you for being honest. Life be lifing. Okay, so it's okay to be in that space. Thank you for sharing. Anyone else? Chaotic. Thank you. Yeah. What action steps are you taking or have you taken to improve your mental health? Non-destructive relaxation. I appreciate that. So trying to do something healthier to relax. Absolutely. Thank you. Meditation. Exercise. Absolutely. Yes. Absolutely. Ooh, yes. Thank you for sharing. All right. So there are some misconceptions about mental health, okay? And there's a lot of stigma around the topic. But mental health is just a state of well-being in which we realize our potential, our abilities, and can cope with the just normal stresses of life. Mental health does not only refer to a diagnosable disorder, right? Anytime, at any given time, our mental health can fluctuate. If you wake up in the morning and get bad news, that day, maybe even for the next week, you're not gonna feel your best. You may feel low, it may impact your sleep, you may be agitated, right? If you end up waking up in the morning, you go outside to start your car for work and your tire is flat, immediately you're gonna be agitated. Now you're late for your meetings, you have to figure that out. Money's coming out of your pocket, right? Mental health can vary at any time. This does not mean that there is something diagnosable, and I think that's really, really important for us to identify. We can have moments of sadness, we can have moments of anxiety. Doesn't mean that there's a diagnosable disorder. We're human and we feel things. All right, so we are gonna do an activity. I know you all are already like, okay, stop it. All right, so we're gonna do a core issue versus core meaning exercise. I really enjoy doing this exercise because it's important to note for us, our families, our students, etc., that there are some beliefs about ourselves that drive our behavior, both positive and negative, okay? So core issue refers to the negative belief that we have about ourselves that feels true. Feels true. Core meaning refers to the positive beliefs that we have about ourselves that are actually true. These are true, okay? Now, I want you to think about, and you don't have to share this, but think about a time in your life that you were just your lowest. Now, as you recall that time, I want you to be able to identify what was the negative belief that you had about yourself because of that event. Did you feel like you weren't deserving of love? Did you feel like you weren't good enough? You were unworthy, incapable, alone, whatever that is. Now, every single person in the world has a core issue. The difference is sometimes we're living from it 10% of the time, sometimes we're living from it 50% of the time, some people are living from it 80% of the time, but it drives behavior. What do you all think would happen if a student in a classroom felt as if they were incapable? What would happen in the academic setting? Say that again? They're gonna fail because they're not gonna try, right? I already believe I'm incapable, so what's the point? Right? I'm not gonna take the risk. I'm not gonna ask for the extra help. I'm not gonna do that because I already feel incapable. So when I fail, it just reinforces that that belief is true, right? So core issue comes to be because we've had a million of those experiences that make us feel that way. And so it becomes our reality. Now, core meaning is the positive belief that we have about ourselves that is actually true. So I'd like you to think about a time in your life where you felt pride. You felt joy. You felt excitement, and identify what that experience made you believe about yourself. I'm strong, I'm capable, I am worthy of all the good things in life. I have integrity, whatever that is. It's important for us to be able to identify our core meaning statements because this is what grounds us and roots us in the world. Even when life be lifing and life is chaotic and stressful and all of those things, this statement can bring us back to the reality that I know that I'm capable of getting through this. I have support. I can reach out. And I also want to make mention that even your children, the students that you may work with, they also are going to be able to identify what their core issue is, even in their behavior. All right, so what is therapy? According to the National Institute of Mental Health, psychotherapy, sometimes called talk therapy, refers to a variety of treatments that aim to help a person identify and change troubling emotions, thoughts, and behaviors. Most psychotherapy is going to take place in an outpatient setting. You'll go weekly, bi-weekly, etc. Okay, and you'll meet with someone one-on-one to help you support whatever's going on in your life, okay? Now, how many people in here are Marvel nerds like myself? Anyone? Oh, okay, a few kind of, okay. How many of you have seen Avengers, the first one? Even if you took a grandbaby, took a child, etc., okay? Who can name 2 Avengers for me? Iron Man, Captain America, right? And I'm gonna mention my favorite, Black Widow. Okay, I'm just gonna mention mine. All right, now, there is another Avenger named Hawkeye. Hawkeye is the sniper, right? He sits up high on the roofs, calls out strikes, tells them what's incoming, etc., right? So he stands kind of out of the mix on the streets, right? So that he can see what is happening. I want you to think of your therapist as a Hawkeye. Right? When we are in the middle of the chaos on the ground, what's going on in our lives, we can't see clearly. We can't see patterns. We can't always see what's incoming. But the therapist standing on the outside kind of looking down and says, ooh, have you noticed this? Have you paid attention to that? I see this pattern that's happening, right? So it really is helpful to have someone that is removed from your day-to-day chaos that can help you kind of see clearly. So when to seek therapy? When there is difficulty regulating your thoughts, emotions, and behaviors. There may be a major impact on your relationships, your daily responsibilities, and your well-being. You'll notice the difference, right? Life can be extremely difficult and challenging as change is constant. When you find yourself unable to cope healthily with those changes, it may be time to seek some support, okay? Using unhealthy coping mechanisms to deal with life, okay? This could be drugs, alcohol, gambling, isolation, too much sleep, not enough sleep, overuse of prescription medications, etc. You may be feeling confused about how to handle a situation and you need some support, okay? And you need someone that's unbiased and caring, okay? Now, if you are feeling as if life is no longer living, or the students that you work with or your children are feeling like, well, life is no longer worth living, that there's no point, that your life will never change, it is time to seek help immediately. That is an emergency set, okay? So how do we find therapists, right? First line is always gonna be your insurance provider, right? Insurance, whether that's Medicaid, Medicare, Blue Cross Blue Shield, etc. You can log into those accounts online and find a huge list of providers. Now, I always tell people that can be a bit overwhelming, because if I just say I'm looking for a therapist in 77346, it's probably going to give me a list of 1,000 providers, right? But you can filter things out to type of therapy that they may do, issues that they may work with, radius from your home, but that is going to be your first line of defense, because you know that it's covered by insurance, which we all want, because therapy can be expensive, right? The next thing is that if you're uncertain, you can also go to your primary care physician. And a lot of people usually use this first and say, hey, I'm going through some emotional things, and your PCP can refer you or your children to get some services. I think it's also important to note that a lot of mental health therapists do sliding scale fees for those that have financial difficulty. That just means reduced cost for services, okay? Next, Galena Park, if you are an employee of Galena Park, we have an employee assistance program where you're able to get 6 free individual sessions per calendar year in order to seek support. After that, insurance can kick in. There are a lot of different organizations that also have a version of the EAP. So if you are employed elsewhere, please check in with your HR team. Another website that I really love is Psychology Today. You can filter it for psychiatrists and therapists. And it even shows video clips of the therapists talking about themselves, how they do therapy, so you can kind of get a feel for their personality, because the therapeutic relationship is really important. You can even filter it out by race, gender, if they come from a faith-based perspective, all of those things. So I really recommend Psychology Today, because I think it filters down even more than your insurance websites, okay? How many people have heard of Teladoc? Teladoc also has a behavioral health component. So instead of just like, I'm feeling sick, let me do a virtual visit, you also can do a virtual visit for a mental health provider and continue to see them. So it's not like seeing them one time and then you won't see them again. You can continue to make appointments with that same behavioral health professional. I just wanted to demonstrate the flyer that Galena Park has for our employees. And again, other organizations and places of employment do have EAPs. My previous place of employment had an EAP program under Blue Cross Blue Shield as well. I believe that COVID really initiated this for a lot of employers to say, we need to get some support for our employees. Okay. Let's talk a little bit about self-care. How many of you in here feel like you do a great job with self-care? Like you are awesome, A+. I only see 2 hands, okay. So let's talk, but that was 3 with you, Dr. Hanks. All right, so self-care is the process of taking care of yourself with behaviors that promote physical, emotional, and relational wellness. Now, we all like to go get a massage, we like to go get our nails done, pedicures, travel, all of those things. Those things are amazing for self-care. However, they're temporary. You go get your nails done 1 week, you feel relaxed, and then your nails are done, and now you're going right back to the stresses of life, right? They're chaotic. You go get a massage for 90 minutes once a month, and then you're going right back to the stress. So we want to add those things in, but we really want to engage in behaviors consistently in our lives that will overall impact us holistically, right? So going to the doctor and getting your annual visits, making sure that you're drinking enough water, taking the supplements and medications you're supposed to be taking, getting enough sleep, okay? Fueling our bodies with nutrients, right? Those things. Taking moments to ourselves, saying no. Saying no when we do not have the capacity to say yes. Okay? Those are all behaviors we can engage in consistently to make sure that we're taking care of ourselves. Exercising, absolutely, releases natural chemicals to help us feel good. What does self-care look like for you? Do you feel like you're engaging in self-care? What does it look like? Time for yourself. What are you usually doing in that time for yourself? Nice. I like it. I know for me, when I get off of work, I do not answer my phone for the next 30 minutes. Okay? I don't. As a therapist, I talk all day. I want to hear nothing. I don't even want to hear my own voice. Okay? So for 30 minutes when I get off work, I tune out. And sometimes I drive in silence. Right? I find that really therapeutic and calming, right? That's my time to myself. What are some other self-care behaviors we're engaging in? Absolutely. It is so important. Absolutely, and sunshine is good for us. We really do need to get outside, and I say that a lot of times we're very sedentary as well at work, right? Sitting in meetings and things like you all have been sitting since you got here at between 8:45 now, right? So even getting up and just moving your body in between meetings, right? Those types of things will impact you positively as well. Does anyone else want to share what they're doing for self-care? Yes. Absolutely, absolutely. And engaging in those things consistently help us overall. Thank you for sharing. Oh, yes, sir.
I was going to say, to add to what Dr. said, the temperature in this building also. I walk outside all the time, but in my day-to-day, I would say that I'm introverted, extrovert. People that know me know I'm a very extrovert person, but I do need to recharge my battery. So I like a long time, like when I get home, and I started to my kids a little bit, but older now. But I'll sit in my car, like I'll pull up in the garage and I just sit in my car for 10, 15 minutes before I get into the house.
Absolutely.
So it's just kind of like that time, I'm not on the phone, I'm just sitting there quiet. Sometimes it's on the driveway, but I just need that time to just like get the day off me. I too talk for a living. So definitely I need that time.
Absolutely. That is like ultimate self-care, being able to just sit in solace and think or breathe or read or whatever it is. Make sure you're taking those moments for yourself. Okay. So I believe that everyone in this room wants to be powerful, correct? Yes. Yes, we want to be powerful? Yes. Yes, absolutely. Okay. So I'm going to briefly go through 5 different areas that you can go through in order to remain well emotionally. Right? So I believe that if you take care of these 5 areas of your life consistently, you will see the improvement in your day-to-day and how you're feeling, okay? Now, the first area is spiritual, okay? What are you connecting to? What helps you to feel grounded in this world? This does not have to be religion, but it can be. This can be nature. This can be volunteer work. This could be the ocean. Right? Whatever it is, what helps you to feel connected and grounded? This could be your family, your children, whatever that is. But we need something to feel rooted and grounded in this wild world, okay? Something that is greater than ourselves, okay? This could look like your church family, other community organizations, your values, any of those things, okay? So spiritual is number 1. The next one is physical wellness. It's super important. There's more to physical wellness than exercise, although that is important too. But make sure you're getting adequate rest. Make sure that you're going to the dentist, the doctor, those annual visits, taking care of yourself. When something feels wrong, go get it checked out. Eating a balanced diet, that does not mean don't go get that burger and fries every now and then or those wings. It just means also make sure that you're getting fruits and vegetables in your life. You're hydrating, resting when you're ill, not going and going and going, stretching, getting outside, sunshine, like Dr. Epps said, all of that is our physical. The next one is intellectual. Intellectual power is all about gaining knowledge. This is just learning a new skill. Reading articles that interest you, reading even fiction books. It's just about fueling your mind and learning. The brain is a muscle. We have to continue to work it, okay? Even those word puzzle games and things like that, just wanting to work the muscle in your brain. This does not have to be formal education. Sometimes it is for people. Some people really love being habitual students. I don't. Okay, but some people love that and will go to school back to back to back to back to back. Okay, so for some people they enjoy that. I know for me, I really enjoy reading. Like just reading, I'm an urban fantasy girl. Like so I can get out of the day-to-day mental health stuff and just escape for a minute. Love that. The next one is relational. We are biologically wired from the time that we are in our mother's wombs to connect. Okay. We really need people in our lives that have empathy. They'll challenge us, they'll support us, they'll cheer us on, they'll validate us, okay? And we also need to be able to experience conflicts in relationships, but working through them healthily because they actually make relationships stronger. But when we sweep things under the rug in conflicts, that's when it becomes an issue. We start to trip over that rug, right? So it's important to have relationships. How many people in here have at least one person they can call at the end of a bad day? Absolutely, we all need that one person that we can feel safe with. We can be our most vulnerable selves with. We don't have to put a mask on. We need that. Relationships are everything. How many times are we telling our kids or our students, oh, we need to build a relationship with them. We need to make sure that they have social connection. We need to make sure that they're doing fun things. It's important for us as well. The last one is the emotional. Our ability to experience emotions, feel them, and not run away from them. Emotions make us human. And they are responsible for how we behave, okay? Our ability to have that balance when we're feeling things is not easy, but it is a superpower that we all need to have. How many of you in the room, just a show of hands, feel like they manage their emotions pretty well most of the time? Doesn't mean we don't have those moments now, but just most of the time, right? Yes, okay? It's important to make sure that we're doing that because we're not saying don't have the emotion. Feel it, experience it, but deal with it healthily. Now, if you need to remember these 5 areas, remember SPIRE. S-P-I-R-E, SPIRE. Spiritual, physical, intellectual, relational, and emotional. So happiness can be found even in the darkest of times if only one remembers to turn the lights on. It is very easy to get wrapped up in the stresses of day-to-day life and the chaos and the responsibilities that we sometimes don't look at what's positive that happened. Right? We don't take a moment to recognize that. So make sure that day to day you're identifying something positive that occurred in your wild day. Are there any questions? Statements? Yes.
Well, I just want to say that from my generation, I guess, and before and after, we have a stigma, I guess, about therapy, right?
Yeah.
The first thing someone says, you need therapy, the first thing you think before they say is, oh, I'm not crazy. You know, so changing that mindset. I feel that if we could all afford it, we all need therapy. Right? Just to better ourselves.
Absolutely.
And the way we use it now without going to a professional is the people that you connect with, the people, your friends. You don't realize that you have vented to them or that you feel sad, you get encouragement from
Thank you so much for bringing that up. I really appreciate you, because even right now in this room today, we are being a part of ending the stigma because we're talking about it, right? We're talking about it. We're thinking about it. We're going to take this knowledge and pass it on and do something different. We also have to be able to end those unspoken rules that we have in our family, that we know are rules, like what happens in this house stays in this house. Right? That is actually one of the most toxic and unhealthy rules that there is, because it means whatever's going on inside of you, whatever's happening in that home, you must stuff it down. That means that we're hiding, and we can't do that, because that actually causes more harm, right? So we do have to be a part of doing something different. And it's okay to not be okay, as Dr. Haynes says all the time. It is okay to not be okay. On any given day, any of us could be just at our lowest. Another thing is being kind to one another, treating everyone with respect and dignity. Even if you are not a fan of that person's personality, we can still respect one another, right? Because you never know what someone is going through.
And telling our children too that, before our parents would be like, deal with it, or your emotion is just you're overreacting or whatever. And so we learn to just internally just
Stuff it down. Stuff it down, right? Oh, you'll be all right. You're fine. Not that big of a deal. You're just being dramatic. Those things, absolutely. So anytime we're doing that, we're negatively impacting them. Yes? Yes. Man up. Man up. You're all right. You're supposed to be strong. I actually think that there's a lot of strength in vulnerability. There's a lot of strength in sharing your emotions. And so being able to understand that it's okay for a man or the masculine people to also share what they're going through, because then it makes it okay for your children and then your children's children, right? Generational patterns are a thing. We tend to respond to things the way that we were taught to respond to them, even if it wasn't direct teaching, through experiences, right? So even think about how you're interacting with people around you in your lives right now, or your coworkers or whatever. Like, that's learned. That's learned. And we do better when we know better. Okay.
I also would like to share, as parents and as older, we have to learn how to better respond to young people. Right? Like, really young people. I'm sorry, for me, I thought young people, but no children in the room. And I had an encounter with my boys one time, and whenever I called them to check on them, I went straight to either school or sports or whatever, right? And my older
Thank you so much for that. Very true. And something you can do is just say, how are you doing? And then how are you feeling?
Yes.
Because how I'm doing can be very different than how I'm feeling, right? Doing, okay, good. How are you feeling? Sad, overwhelmed, stressed, lonely, whatever that is. So try to even just change your language and helping your kids understand how to use emotional language, right? If you can describe pizza with it, it's not an emotion word, because pizza is good, okay, all right. Those aren't emotion words, right? So you can even teach your littles that. But I really, oh yes, Dr. Haynes, go for it.
That's perfect. My daughter did the same thing, and I'm a clinician. I am a licensed clinician, y'all. And she said, I want you to ask me how I feel emotionally. And I was like, emotionally to myself. That's all I said to myself. And it took me some time because in the work world, it's easy for me to do. In my personal life, it was not. So when I heard that again from a young man, from young men, they need it. So I started doing that, asking my daughter, how you doing emotionally? How do you feel? And then I added it to my agenda with meetings. That when we meet on a weekly basis, and we come right in and we start to talk about kids and business of the business, we got right to it. And when I started doing that some years ago, it's probably about 3-4 years ago with the team, it changed the dynamics of the relationship that we developed. We started to talk about our families and our children. And even the men in the room started talking about the woes, about things that they're going through, that life is heavy for them. So, trying that even in a professional setting, yes, with the family, but I started every meeting with the business, because the business is going to happen. And when I initially started, I had to keep redirecting, because I'm like, how are you feeling emotionally? And we started, I'm good, and we go right to the kids. I said, I want to hear about the kids, I want to hear about the parents, but this is the time that I really, really want to hear about them. But it's just a redirecting and retraining our brains to be able to focus on ourselves, because we're so busy saving the world.
Absolutely. And I think about us as funnels, right? So if we're at the top of the funnels, how we take care of ourselves will trickle down to the responsibilities and the children's and our family and all those things naturally, because we're our best selves, right? So we will be able to do what's positive and what's right. I really appreciate you all for taking the time to be here this morning, but also listening to mental health. Again, you are a part of ending the stigma just by being in this room. And I also want to give some extra shout outs to the men in our room. I know we got just one as a guest, and then we have Mr. Viadiel back there. But I really appreciate you being here. And this isn't the first time I've seen you on campus supporting and being here for meetings, so it just shows your engagement. But we need more of you in the room talking about these things. So thank you for being a face for that. Thank you so much for having me.
So I want to introduce Ms. Clara, Ms. Jennifer from Legacy. They wanted to offer a few words.
Thank you so much. My name is Jennifer Rodriguez, and I'm the liaison manager that supports our Galena Park I.S.D. campuses.
And my name is Clara Rodriguez, and I'm also liaison manager that supports our Southwest region schools.
And so thank you, Ms. Rogers, for a wonderful topic. I just wanted to also remind you all that we have 4 clinics in our Galena Park campuses. We have Green Valley Elementary, North Shore Senior High, our Almeida Clark Taylor Clinic in front of Cloverleaf, and also Galena Park Middle School. While mental health is very important, it's also a lot of struggles that our children are going through as well. And so we do have counseling right on campus at those sites. And we have counseling available to all of our other Galena Park campuses via telehealth with the providers from those sites. And we have pediatric care as well. So I have plenty of handouts and information at the door and some goodies as well. If you have any questions for us, we'll be here till the end of the meeting, and you can let us know how we could help get your child connected to care here in the Galena Park area. Thank you so much.
And our appointments are available virtually and in person. If anyone ever wants to schedule an appointment with any of the 4 Galena Park I.S.D. clinics through Legacy Community Health, you can call us directly at 281-628-2628. 281-628-2050. The number again is 281-628-2050.
Thank y'all.
Thank you very much. Okay, so this is a School Health Advisory Council meeting. And so what the School Health Advisory is a group appointed by the school district to serve at the district level. It requires the establishment of a SHAC for every school district. SHACs are required to meet at least 4 times each year. And what we do is we assist the district in assuring the local community values are reflected in health education instruction. Additionally, SHACs play an important role in strengthening the connection between health and learning, and they can help parents and community stakeholders reinforce the knowledge and skills children need to stay healthy for a lifetime. And part of that is we have with our student nutrition, we have a wellness policy. And so the wellness policy is up on the board. I'll have one printed for next time. We did make some changes, and they haven't been posted yet, but as soon as they're posted, we will have those for our next meeting. And it's in the student nutrition area. And this can be found under departments. But we'll have that updated soon, and I just wanted you to know about that. And then each campus makes a wellness plan for each campus, and that's part of the School Health Advisory, part of the Texas Agricultural and Department of State Health Services of Texas, of all the requirements. So, thank you.
Next, we're going to review the meeting of the last minutes of the last meeting. So if you can review them, please. The meeting was April 4th, 2024. Quickly review them. Let me know if there are any issues, things that you don't agree with, or that you recollect them different, so that we can, if there is no issues, then we can go on and approve them.
I'll motion to approve the minutes from April 4th, 2024.
Your name?
Warren Simmons.
Thank you, Mr. Simmons. Can I have a second approval?
I second the motion.
Thank you. I appreciate it. So the minutes from Thursday, April 4th are approved. On your folder, you also have the agenda. In the agenda, you'll see the meetings that are already scheduled for our next 3 meetings. I would love for you to add them to your calendar, because we would like to see you in our next meeting. So the next meeting is going to be, they're going to be Wednesdays. December 11th is our next meeting at 11:30. The following is going to be February 19th of 2025 at 11:30, and April 9th of 2025 at 11:30. Those will be considered lunches, so we would delight you with a great lunch if you can come and meet us. Next, I would like to let you know that we have an evaluation form. We would love for you to take this with you, log on, and evaluate us. Please give us some suggestions. If you have something that you would like to see or hear about in regards to our community, our health, etc., please give us those ideas. We would love to give you the information that you want to hear as well. We will provide you what we think it's appropriate for our year, our month, whatever. But if you give us ideas, then we can look into them and bring them to us so that we can all learn about it. Okay? So I appreciate your evaluation. Okay.
I just wanted to give a couple of new updates. This school year started August 7th, and then August 5th, the state of Texas Nursing Board decided that no products, over-the-counter products, could be given in school without a doctor's order. So previous nurses had an autonomy in school to be able to give cough medicine, Tylenol, Motrin, with the parents. The parent brought the medicine and the parent signed the paperwork to give the child, if they had a headache so they didn't have to leave work if something was going on. But they've changed it now, and right now we're not even doing salt water gargles or Vaseline. We give ice packs. But the only way we can do the others is medicine is with a doctor's order and a parent's signature. So I just wanted to make sure that y'all were aware of that for your students. And also we're still working on our Narcan, trying to stop that in our district. We have received some now, so we're still working on the policies, and we'll have that up and running. Our officers do have Narcan now, so if there was an incident to happen on a campus, they would work fast to take care of the child or employee or whoever might need the Narcan. And if you're not familiar, Narcan is the antagonist for an opioid overdose. And it's out there everywhere, and people getting it by accident, and people getting it and using it on purpose, just not knowing that it's full of the opioid, usually fentanyl. So we are trying to do everything we can to protect our students and families on campus. So yes, we do accept your suggestions for any of our meetings coming up. Invite your friends. As Ms. Juarez mentioned, our next meetings we will have lunch. So we will see you in December. Any questions? Yes, ma'am, Mr. Tato.
I just want to thank you for today, for this meeting.
Oh, yes.
It's just amazing, and my prayer was that we can share the information, and I took a lot of pictures and a lot of notes.
Good.
And we're taking care of ourselves, so thank you.
And thank you for offering the prayer today, and thank you to Ms. Rogers again, and our translator in the background back here. Thank you for, and the ladies assisting with the breakfast again. And for all of you coming today, we appreciate it very much. Thank you, and have a great day, and enjoy the nice brisk weather. Meeting adjourned. And thank you to Ms. Webb for taking our minutes. Thank you. 1 moment. And also, you have a little breast cancer treat bag on your table, so please take that with you, and we will see you in December for lunch.